In the headlines for this hour on VTV News, top leader works with Central Military Commission. And more opportunity to export fresh fruit to the United States. And in our news, North Korea test fire multiple rocket launcher systems.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello, it's 3 p.m. local time in Hanoi. You're watching VTV News. On Wednesday morning, General Secretary and State President To Lam, also Secretary of the Central Military Commissions, chair a conference with the Standing Committee of the Central Military Commissions. He requested that the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense continue excelling in their strategic advisory functions to the party and state on military and national defense. He also asked that they enhance their research and forecasting capacity and develop flexible and effective response strategies to situations. He also directed the Standing Committee of the Central Military Commissions and leaders of the Ministry of National Defense to focus on leadership and direction to successfully complete the remaining tasks of the term and at the same time direct the organizations of the congresses for the 2025-2030 term. Prime Minister Phie signed a directive on August 27 to develop domestic consumption, production, business, and market growth. The directive aims to address challenges in production and business operations, boost consumer demand, and accelerate domestic market development. These measures are intended to promote growth, maintain macroeconomic stability, control inflation, and ensure major economic balances. In the document, Prime Minister Phie called on ministers, heads of government agencies, provincials and municipal leaders, industries, associations, and businesses to implement several key tasks and solutions. Furthermore, the directive emphasizes the need to promote domestic trade, connect supply and demand, provide market information, and offer legal advice to small and medium-sized enterprises. On Wednesday morning, National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn attended the fifth ceremony to honor outstanding scientific and technological intellectuals organized by the Vietnam Union of Science and Technology Association. Congratulating the 135 outstanding scientific and technological intellectuals who were honored, National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn emphasized that throughout the history of building and defending the country, our ancestors always respected talented people and intellectuals, considering them the vital energy of the nation. When this vital energy thrived, the country is strong. When the vital energy is weak, the country is weak. In the current context of globalization, the National Assembly Chairman hopes that the country intellectuals will develop new awareness and scientific thinking associated with practical and effective solutions to transform science and technology into a driving force for national development. Vietnam Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development has reached an important agreement with the U.S. Department of Agriculture to introduce passion fruit to the U.S. market. This agreement also diversifies quarantine methods, reducing costs and enhancing the competitiveness of Vietnamese fruit in the U.S.
Exporting fresh fruit to the U.S. requires compliance with strict standards for food safety and plant quarantine. Growing areas and processing facilities must meet various standards, ensuring no pesticide residues or harmful bacterial contamination. Additionally, the harvesting process must maintain the fruit's quality. At a recent meeting in Washington, D.C., between leaders of the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and the U.S. Department of Agriculture, both sides discussed the ongoing expansion of the fruit market.
Up to now, the technical regulations have been handled according to regulations, and hopefully in the near future, our passion fruits will be exported to the US market. The ministry also instructed the completion of documentation for other fruits such as seedless lemon, jackfruit, and guava. The fruits were suggested by US enterprises and the Vietnamese community in the US.
To date, Vietnam has exported 8 types of fruits to the US: dragon fruit, mango, longan, lychee, rambutan, star apple, grapefruit, and coconut. In the first half of this year, the total export value of fruit and vegetables to the US reached nearly $150 million, a 32.4% increase compared to the same period last year.
Developing circular agriculture is both a necessity and an inevitable trend, and at the same time a solution for sustainable development. This approach requires cooperation from many sides to ensure everyone benefits from the overall advancement of agriculture.
By switching from traditional methods to energy-saving LED bulbs and water-saving irrigation systems, farmers have reduced carbon emissions by 68% and halve energy consumption. These transformations are the result of a project promoting a private sector participation in low-emission and climate-resilient investment for dragon fruit cultivation in Bình Thuận.
Working with farmers in coffee plantations, promoting how they can use coffee pulp into the production process again, and really allowing them to increase productivity and reduce waste and emissions. Fourth, I would say multi-stakeholder partnership.
At the recent policy dialogue, enterprises expressed the need for a clearer strategy and orientation to promote investment in the circular economy.
The development of a circular economy must benefit the business community through increased orders, brand recognition, and improved access to foreign markets.
The agricultural sector has taken specific steps to promote circular agriculture. This is clearly demonstrated in the scheme on scientific development, application, and technology transfer to promote circular economy in agriculture by 2030.
The development of effective circular agricultural models requires the integration of science and technology.
Currently, the total waste and byproducts from agroforestry and fisheries in Vietnam exceed 150 million tons. This figure highlights the immense potential for developing a circular economy in agriculture. These materials could become a valuable resource through successful international cooperation and multi-sectoral coordination.
Since the beginning of the year, the volume of imported goods through Kim Thành International Border Gate No. 2, Lao Cai Province, has increased sharply thanks to the gradual removal of bottlenecks in custom clearance activities by both sides. Notably, many types of goods with large turnover values and high taxes are being imported. Explosive precursors began to be imported through Lao Cai Border Gate in June this year with a quantity of nearly 4,200 tons. Worth nearly $2.4 million. This represents a significant tax items for the state budget. To import explosive precursor, businesses must meet numerous conditions regarding warehouses and storage, as well as follow strict procedures set by the Ministry of Industry and Trade. Along with that, since the beginning of the year, over 8.5 million kilowatt hours of electricity has been imported through this gate, with an import turnover value of over $57 million, a sharp increase over the same period last year. Import and export activities are thriving in many markets due to a significant decrease in sea freight rates. The Vietnam Maritime Administration believes that this is a positive signal, bringing numerous benefits to businesses. However, companies should remain vigilant as the year-end peak season approaches.
By August, sea freight rates have decreased across all routes, with the most significant drop on the Asia to US West Coast, where rates fell by 20 to 30%. Other routes saw reductions of around 15 to 25%. This decrease in freight rates is due to shipping lines increasing their capacity and the lessening pressure from the peak season. However, businesses are still keeping a vigilant watch on the situation.
Starting from September, the upward trend may return because there are a lot of trading activities in the last quarter of the year. Export businesses will concentrate on the last batches of the year before deciding to stock up for the new year.
Businesses have proactively adjusted their logistic cost strategies to cope with unpredictable market fluctuations.
In the near future, instead of cost and freight shipping, we will switch to freight on board, which means we'll sell goods at the port, leaving freight rates to the shipping line. That way we can reduce risks associated with unstable freight rates.
Sea freight volume is growing at its fastest pace in 5 years. In the first 7 months of 2024, volume reached nearly 500 million tons, a 15% increase compared to the same period in 2023.
Exporting enterprises should plan their orders to initiate the shipping process early and avoid year-end congestion. Businesses with large, stable volumes from now until the end of the year can proactively engage with shipping lines or transportation units.
The Vietnam Maritime Administration advises businesses to closely monitor freight rates, enabling them to implement timely solutions.
And before moving on to some other news, let's take a look at foreign exchange rate for today, August 28th. Up next on VTV News, bronze statue of goddess Durga repatriated. And Nong Festival opens in Bình Thuận. The Ho Chi Minh City People's Committee officially declared a measles epidemic across the city on August 27th. This decision comes in response to the rapid increase in measles cases and 3 reported deaths due to the disease. To combat the outbreak, Ho Chi Minh City authorities are implementing measures outlined in the Infectious Disease Prevention and Control Law. These measures include strengthening the Epidemic Prevention and Control Task Force at the city, district, and commune levels, as well as in Thủ Đức City. Anyone suspected of having measles must promptly report to health authorities within 24 hours of diagnosis for proper management and testing. Additionally, a supplementary measles rubella vaccination campaign will target all children aged 1 to 5 living in Ho Chi Minh City. The Ho Chi Minh City University Hospitals of Medicine and Pharmacy has successfully conducted a cross-country heart transplant using the donated heart of a young man who was declared brain dead following a traffic accident in Hanoi. The recipient, a 37-year-old man from Gia Lai, has now regained consciousness. With his new heart beating healthily, he has been offered a renewed chance at life. Join us as we meet the teams that made this a reality.
On August 24th at 8 p.m., a specialized medical team transported the donor's heart to Hanoi by International Airport. By 11:05 p.m., the team had arrived in Ho Chi Minh City. With the swift coordination and support of the traffic police in both cities, the heart was delivered to the hospital in time.
The patient was in a critical condition with little time left. He had only recently been added to the National Organ Transplant waiting list. Fortunately, the Vietnam National Coordinating Center for Human Organ Transplantation quickly approved the use of a heart from St. Paul Hospital in Hanoi.
Upon notification from the Vietnam National Coordination Center for Human Organ Transplantation, the entire hospital system at the University of Medicine and Pharmacy was mobilized before the heart arrived in the city. The transplant involved hundreds of doctors, but faced significant challenges.
Doctors are closely monitoring the patient, particularly in the critical first 3 days post-surgery, when there is a heightened risk of heart failure. The heart had to endure a journey of over 2,000 kilometers from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh City, with an ischemic period of about 5 hours and a half. This is an extended time frame for a heart transplant, making post-surgery care especially crucial.
This heart transplant marks a significant milestone for the Ho Chi Minh City University of Medicine and Pharmacy Hospital. This highlights a major achievement for both the hospital and Ho Chi Minh City's healthcare sector.
On Wednesday morning, the Vietnam National Museum of History held a ceremony to announce the repatriations of a bronze statue of Goddess Durga and opened the special exhibition Champa Treasures, Mark of Time. The statue, received by the Ministry of Culture, Sport and Tourism from authorities in the United States and the United Kingdom, has been entrusted to the National Museum of History for preservation and conservation. Of Vietnamese origin, this 7th century artifact belongs to the Champa cultural traditions and remains relatively intact. The return of the Goddess Durga statue is particularly significant, as it is the largest bronze statue and a unique representative of Champa art discovery to date. This rare antique holds immense cultural and artistic value spanning historical period. A special stamp collection titled celebrating the 70th anniversary of Điện Biên Phủ has been released by the Party Central Committee's Commission for Information and Education in collaboration with the People's Committee of Điện Biên Province and the Vietnam Post Corporation. This collection is among many special postal stamps issued that uniquely feature the national talent, the Vietnamese language, and the national currency. Many significant historical milestones of the nation are also commemorated on these stamps.
On September 2, 1945, President Ho Chi Minh proclaimed the Declaration of Independence and announced the creation of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam. 1 year later, on September 2, 1946, Vietnam issued its first stamp collection amid compounding difficulties. The collection, consisting of 5 stamps, featured a portrait of President Ho Chi Minh and was designed by artist Nguyen Sang. Vu Van T, a stamp collector for over 40 years, cherishes these stamps and their cultural significance.
These stamps feature the image of the nation's first president, were designed by a Vietnamese artist, printed using Vietnamese technology, and produced on Vietnamese-made paper. These 4 characteristics proudly declare the independence of a newly sovereign nation on its first national day.
Over the years, 12 stamp collections have been released to commemorate September 2nd. Notably, the 1985 collection, designed to mark the 40th anniversary of Vietnam's National Day, was the debut work of artist Tran The Vinh. It won top honors in that year's National Stamp Design Competition.
From the very beginning, stamps have not only conveyed messages of national sovereignty but also introduced Vietnam, its people, its nature, and its culture to the world. Everyday aspects of Vietnamese life, which may seem ordinary to locals, can be fascinating to people in other countries. They have naturally become sought-after collectibles.
Since the release of its first official stamp collection in 1946, Vietnam Post has issued nearly 1,200 collections, each contributing to a unique form of artistic expression.
Unlike traditional paintings, which allow for complete creative freedom, stamp design demands precision in political, cultural, and artistic dimensions, ensuring that each tiny work resonates with the public.
When Vietnam issues a stamp, it reaches all 192 member countries of the Universal Postal Union, UPU. These small stamps, though modest in size, serve as powerful connectors between generations and sharing Vietnam's cultural heritage with the world.
The third nest of total 8 discovered in the past month at Hòn Cao Marine Reserve, Tuy Phong District, Bình Thuận Province. On Tuesday, a sea turtle crawled onto the sand to lay eggs. After the turtle laid eggs and left, the reserve staff brought all 75 eggs to a safe hatching place. Thus, in the beginning of August until now, Hòn Cao Marine Reserve has received a total of 252 turtle eggs. The reserve spans 12,500 hectares In recent years, many sea turtles have come to this area to lay eggs. Once hatched, the young turtles are released into their natural habitat to support biodiversity. The survival rate of sea turtle is very low. For every 1,000 eggs that hatch successfully, only one survived. Therefore, protecting nesting site is crucial for preserving biodiversity. Visitors to the coastal land of Bình Thuận shouldn't miss the colorful Nong Festival. As one of the special festivals of the Chinese community in Phan Thiết, Nong, or whale worshipping festival, takes place at the end of the 7th lunar month. The festival is not just a spiritual event, but also a meaningful cultural festival.
At nearly 5 a.m., a bustling atmosphere took over many streets in Đức Nghĩa, Đức Thắng, and Lạc Đạ wards, Phan Thiết City, Bình Thuận Province. The performing troops gathered at Quan Đế Temple and began the most important and unique part of the 2024 Nong Festival, or the Whale Festival. During the Whale Festival, each assembly hall puts up on its own unique performance. A highlight was the appearance of a fabric green dragon measuring nearly 15 meters in length.
The customs are very rich and showcased through large-scale performances, songs, and characters.
The festival leaves a lasting impression. With such a vibrant event, Bình Thuận Province will attract more tourists in the coming years.
The Nong Whale Festival is held every 2 years at the end of the 7th lunar month. The 2024 event marks the 14th iteration, featuring many activities. Bình Thuận has selected this festival to boost tourism.
Coming up next in our World News. Coming up next in our World News, Venezuelan president reshuffles cabinet. And North Korea test fire multiple rocket launcher system. President Nicolas Maduro made major changes to Venezuelan cabinet on Tuesday, including new appointments for the heads of the oil and finance ministries, as well as the state-owned oil corporation. President Maduro announced Anabel Pereira as new finance ministers, while Hector Aragon will take on the new positions of president of the state-owned oil corporation. Additionally, Vice President Delcy Rodriguez will retain her current positions while also taking on the role of Venezuelan oil minister. President Maduro emphasized that these changes are a profound renewal of the government. He pledged that the member of the cabinet will help the country open up new paths, accelerating the changes that the Venezuelan people need. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un oversaw the testing of an upgraded 240mm multiple rocket launcher system on Tuesday. The test was successful as the system demonstrated improved mobility and concentrated fire capability. It exhibited superior performance across all indicators, including a newly integrated guidance system, enhanced controllability, and increased destructive power. During the inspection, Kim Jong-un outlined an important policy to pursue the production of new tiles of artillery and equip military units with them. The previous week, the North Korean leader also inspected tests of various unmanned aerial vehicles. He ordered their continued development and rapid deployment to military units. The 6th International Municipal BRICS Forum is taking place in Moscow on August 27 to 28. The event served as a crucial platform for the exchanging experiences and ideas among representatives of regional and municipal authorities from BRICS countries, as well as building effective business communication between Russian enterprises and their partners. More than 5,000 delegates from 500 cities in more than 120 countries have gathered to exchange the latest experiences and discuss key issues in cooperation worldwide. The main topics include the economy, digital technology, environment, urban infrastructure, transport, healthcare, education, and culture. The foreign programs also focus on sustainable development goals and the investment appeal of megacity. To study at a specialized school in Japan, applicants must be traditional craftsmen or have at least 10 years of experience in their field. Let's visit this unique institution and discover why it's exclusively caters to seasoned artisans.
Kanazawa College of Art in Ishikawa Prefecture was established to preserve sophisticated traditional techniques in construction, wooden structural renovation, and handicraft creation. Compared to industrial goods, traditional handicrafts are incredibly time-consuming and demand great patience from artisans.
This part, students only need an hour.
I heard that it takes a week to make all these mats.
Yes, if you do all these, the student will have to make it in a week.
The school offers a diverse curriculum, including construction techniques, traditional wood products, sedge mat crafting, and landscape architecture. To date, 660 students have completed the training course, contributing to the restoration of cultural heritage sites and traditional buildings. This work requires artisans to be skilled in traditional techniques, particularly woodworking methods that have been passed down for centuries in Japan.
I was given the opportunity to repair the front part of this building. I focus on the technique of using body strength, not hand strength, when planning the wood surface.
Handmade products are significantly more expensive than their industrial counterparts, making it difficult for them to compete in the market. In this context, Kanazawa College of Art carries a crucial historical mission.
And now, as usual, let's continue with the weather forecast. And that's all the news for today. To rewatch your program, you can log on to VTVgo.vn or download our mobile application VTVgo. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.